think we've become soft as a society. And how do I know this? It's because we now have such a low expectation of movies that when something like Happy Gilmore 2 comes out, we go, well, wasn't as bad as I feared. It's not a good movie. I laughed a few times. The cameos were fun. My review is the same as everyone else's. But it could have been a lot worse. The Maxi Golf thing's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It was actually a rip-off of Caddyshack 2, which was a bad movie. Why are you ripping off a bad movie? But I laughed. I laughed and I laughed. But Joel, F1, not as bad as I feared.
Yeah.
Well, our expectations have gone down.
I was at the shops the other day. They said, have you seen that show, Get Em Onside? It's all right.
That's all right. We'll take you.
Does it taint the first original though? It doesn't taint it.
No.
And I'm sort of because I was going to stay away from it completely.
Nah.
I didn't think there was enough to really. There wasn't enough upside for fear that it was going to take away from the original, which is it's my childhood. It takes me back to that era, Sugar.
I've got to say, 30 years on, there's a couple of things that I've learned this week. 30 years on, Adam Sandler has aged pretty well. You know, really, and a lot of those characters have. And I heard a clip during the week, Dan, of Roy and HG 37 years ago.
Yeah.
37 years ago.
What is ABC doing another best of?
No, it just came up in a clip somewhere.
Mate, ABC loves the best of.
Triple J last week in the gun.
Mate,
ABC off the top.
Mate, ABC, their TV schedule, it's like a university schedule. They have 14 weeks on, a bunch off, 14 weeks on, then they're off for 7 months.
Slashed about 20% of your radio broadcasting opportunities, Ed.
Oh, I don't think
Next week, can we do a Dan Ganane best of the worst best ofs?
Anyway, I did not mind Happy Gilmore 2. Yeah. Can I whet the appetite, because we are a football show, rugby league show, how soon is too soon to promote something? How soon is too soon to promote something? I've got something to promote in 3 weeks.
Context. Give us some kind of context.
I think it's the greatest Friday night doubleheader in the history of Fox League.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I've got your attention.
Yeah.
You ready for this? Round 25. I even put my hands in my pocket for the TV people, but because it's below a desk, it looks a bit suspicious, so I'll take the hands out. Friday, 6 p.m, your appetiser. Round 25. Penrith. Possibly 10 in a row. Got to remember which one's which. 10 in a row. Against Canberra. Possibly 11 in a row. Penrith playing for top 4. Canberra to lock up probably minor premiership. That's your appetiser. Your main course, Amy Park. Melbourne versus Canterbury in the playoff for second. Now, I think if it holds like that, have I got your attention?
Yes.
Thank you. Problem is, Penrith play Melbourne the Thursday before. I suspect Penrith might beat Melbourne, and Melbourne are not going to be really in the running for second by then. And
this be a great example for the flexi sort of scheduling that we could potentially have going forward. There's no way that game deserves to be at 6 p.m. on a Friday.
In Mudgee, by the way. In Mudgee.
Mudgee have been blessed.
The people of Mudgee.
Wow. Hey, can I ask you this, boys?
You know what? I'm okay with it then.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
We're getting close enough now where you can probably have a throw at the stumps on the ladder predictor, which I've done. I've got Manly somehow making it comfortably, right? Really? I was shocked myself with that. Cronulla making the 4, I've got that.
Really?
Yes, I have.
Ahead of Penrith.
You shock yourself when you do it.
Have you got Penrith beating Melbourne in round 24?
I've got Penrith coming 6th.
Okay.
And I think I've toggled around a bit to try and average it out, right? But anyway, where I'm going to is, I reckon we're in a scenario where round 27, there are a lot of teams, and it's going to play out in order potentially, who need to win for home finals. For example, Melbourne Storm, who traditionally would not send a team to Broncos, if they had to win that game for top 2, would they go there?
What, send a full arm?
You know something? I don't think they value second as much as you think they do. I think they are one of those teams that will think, yes, we'd love to finish second, but we've got a plan, and Jerome Hughes isn't being rushed back for a round 27 game. No. That would be... It's really interesting. I think this year's finals, more than ever, are going to be less about position and more about matchups. Because I think every team has a bogey team.
Yeah, of course.
Right? But they're all different bogey teams. I've got this feeling Canterbury are going to be a bogey team for Melbourne. I think Canterbury style, especially without Hughes, might trouble Melbourne. Yet you put Canberra against Canterbury, and I know Canterbury beat them, but you saw it Canberra and Brisbane the same. The big men worry Canterbury. And then you look at other teams and you say, well, okay, what team will worry Canberra? I think Penrith would worry Canberra, the way Penrith... Anyway, you're not with me on that?
No, I am with you, and I was just thinking it through. So, like, in the case of Canberra, happy to play a gunslinging 2005 Tiger style, which that's not going to work with Penrith.
That's exactly right.
It's yet to stack up in finals, in big games across the last sort of decade. It's yet to stack up, that sort of game. So that's my concern. Tell you what, all that's well and good. This chat's got me very excited because it means we're closer to bracket season. Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Where we can roll out the bracket. Remember, haven't we come a long way where we actually had a whiteboard in the old NRL bunker studios back in the day? It was rag. That could have been the worst 10, 15 minutes in podcast TV history, baby. That was awful.
It's the one and only bet I've ever brought. You've got your bingo every week, which everyone now rips off. You've got your lock, stock, and two smoking. Can I have a hub? And I'm going to rip
you
off.
You want your own hub?
Oh, it'll be the snatch. So you've got the lock, stock, and two, and it'll be something like will one team win when behind with 10 minutes to go? Can I have that?
You want to be careful calling something the snatch in a hub, Dan. People might get just very.
Well, I don't have a filthy mind. I'll have the Keno if I can get. You've got the bingo. I'll have the Keno. I'll come up with something. But I'll just say this. Look, I think it's funny that some of the other sports bet people are ripping off your bets, but if Hamish or Dean or any of the other, and I'll use real names. I know it's Hammy's not Hamish, but you know what I mean. Hammy was very good to us the other day.
Ryan.
So
Hammy's Ryan.
Ryan,
That's
I'm
his
just
Christian
saying,
name.
things will get real.
Okay.
If that bracket, if I hear the perfect 9,
Please do it.
someone's perfect 9,
Yeah.
we're going to have some trouble.
Please do
you
it.
and me.
Please do it.
Speaking of trouble, let me just have a sip of coffee, and it's not even in the official Sportsbet cup, because I'm just going to sit back and let Sean Ormerod cook for a couple of minutes. Off you go, Sean.
All right, it's time to just acknowledge one of the most comprehensive, I don't want to say self-indulgent, let's go with comprehensive retirement announcements in NRL, if not Australian sporting history.
You can't even get the qualifier right, Sean. You're going to hammer the bloke. You were trying to set up a little qualifier and you stuffed that up.
Chad Townsend. Now, let's caveat. Let's call it a caveat. 271st grade games, premiership winning halfback, Sugar. Not many people can call him that. It's an illustrious career. However, comprehensive, teetering on self-indulgent. It started off, quite line and length the way he started their retirement announcement. There was a speech to the playing group. We see that, often. That's a staple of the retirement announcement. There was a little press conference in the Roosters colours. Coach Robinson was there. Very, very line and length. This is where it got comprehensive. Okay, so he rolled out there was a press release announced on his own social media channel. So we rolled that one out.
Release?
A press release, Yep.
You mean a worded statement?
A worded statement.
Not him looking down a camera.
No, it was a worded statement released on his own social media pages. Yeah. There was a special edition episode dropped of the Chad Townsend show on YouTube, which was called the Retirement Pod. That was the name of the episode, so we announced it on there as well. There was also a YouTube vlog that he put out there into the ether. That was called I Am Retiring from the NRL. So, again, not a great little tease for what was going to come on the vlog. He sort of laid it all out there straight away. But this is where...
you haven't said anything that has raised my shackles
But
yet.
this is where it just went a little bit too far. He set up, and as part of that vlog, he sort of teased where he had hired a studio, a video team, to capture the very candid moment, Shug, the very candid moment where he called in the kids and told them that Daddy's not playing footy anymore, and the cameras were there to capture it. And I tell you what, Dan, it would have brought a tear to a glass eye. It was real emotional stuff. So
this is your whack.
The most comprehensive, if not self-indulgent, retirement announcement I have ever seen. Hats off to you, Chad Townsend.
That's the most comprehensive Bambi of the century.
Did you not bring the video? Did you not bring the video?
No, people can do their own research. Hey, if you've escaped it to this point, you've done exceptionally well. There isn't a platform in Australia that he hasn't just shoehorned in his retirement.
As I was told just before we came on air, he has 46,000 subscribers.
Oh, he's airborne.
So who are you to judge him. And you two both work for a radio station whose business model is to say one thing and splice it up 8 different ways and get 8 different downloads.
No judgment.
Your Chad has maximised his announcement. All right, he's trying to set up his post-life career. All right, the kids thing.
Too far?
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I've only seen seconds of it, and it lacked.
What did it lack?
Well, the kids mightn't have known. I don't think the kids are that good at actors. I'm not going to bag kids. But yes, okay, it was a little staged. But isn't that the way of the world now? Chad's a fan. Chad, I'm a fan. Chad,
So am I. I love the Chad.
Here's some breaking news. So I have to go away for a week. We're going up, the family's going away for a week in that first weekend of September, which is the last round, right, before finals.
Yes.
The Chad's filling in for me.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
How's Matt
24
Rogers gonna
videos
feel?
dropped.
No, that's right. We'll ask Matt first. Okay.
I'm happy for Chad to be here.
Heavy baby.
That's
Love you,
another
Chad.
one. Who did he hit a couple of weeks? It was last week, and it was the worst. Oh, Peter Irvine. So he's hit Ken Irvine's brother,
Oh, Peter Irvine.
and he's hit now Chad Townsend. I'll tell you
look
what,
at me.
he's taken the man. That's his now.
Look at me,
Shooting
Irvine.
Bambi. I've pulled back on the Bambis. You've also done some. Geez, you've put in some
Why your
work.
Bambi? And who else can you put the slipper in?
No,
You know what? This is, I want to Bambi the sports bet odds compilers because we got the wooden spoon market at the start of the year. We're about to see the weight of money of where it currently stands. We did premiership, but now we're at the pointy end. We may as well look at the very pointy end of the bottom end of the table. The wooden spoon weight of money. So forget about working left to right. I want to go to the right of your screen. Look at the price that the Canberra Raiders were at the start of the year. Sure, $6. They were the wooden spoon favourites. There's a dash above them now because you can't even back it because they are completely airborne. And the weight of money tells you just how wrong we got it. 1.2% of the whole book is on the Raiders. Punters just said, you have got this completely wrong. We don't want to bar it. But back to the top end now. Titans, $2.60. That's a dead heat. Newcastle Knights and the Bunnies at $3.40. We probably got the majority of the market right. You can see Titans $9.50, Knights $8, Bunnies were $10, all thereabouts. Dragons $7.50. But the heavy weight of money is all around the Knights and the Newcastle and the Gold Coast Titans, brother.
For the audio people, 17.7% on Newcastle.
Yep.
16% on Parramatta, nearly 16% on Gold Coast. I'm surprised only 9% on South because the writing's been on the wall there for a while, in fairness.
What about the Panthers? 7%.
Can I ask you,
of money
sorry?
on there.
They're got to be dollar bets, $5 bets, specking at ridiculous odds.
Just to clarify, you probably said this, but is this the weight of market before round one?
No, so right now.
Okay.
So this is right now,
Okay.
the percentage
from-
split of the weight of money. So that's not
So
just
from
dollar,
when the market opened
correct,
to now.
to right
Okay.
now. So that's not just dollar bets. That's 7%. That is, it's not number.
It's
of
hold
bets,
of the market.
It's hold of money.
I
So
understand.
people are actually stepping in, and they got out to a massive price. The
Manly's the
Panthers as well.
interesting one. They're 8.6%, which would say not a lot of faith. There was a thought that they could really collapse. So let's look. So they are current odds now. Can we just bring them up for one moment, please? Because let's actually just talk about the current market. You've got Gold Coast now. They were $1.91. Thank you. $1.91 last week. Oh, here we go. $2.60. Newcastle and South at $3.40. I think South are the pick here. And you
Got the buy.
There's a buy hand.
Yeah, but they play. It all comes down for them. They can avoid it, but they've got to beat the Gold Coast on the Gold Coast.
which
I
is
don't-
next weekend. So
And
that's an early spoon bowl next week.
I don't think, and even if they lose that, they're not guaranteed the spoon, but it puts them in pole position.
My ladder predictor.
Gold Coast will be heavy favourites. Oh, you got the Knights as last.
Knights.
All right, so it's a race in 3 there. Parramatta now, after beating Brisbane, we can shake them off that, $18. Well done to them. Very nice stuff. I like that. By the way, I almost presented a quiz today, or almost presented the idea of doing a quiz, like you versus you, just to work, you know.
Let's go.
I'll get next week. We'll do it next week. We'll get game show music. Yes. For instance, here's a question: who's won the most games against top 8 teams this year?
Broncos. Canberra.
Panthers.
Canberra 6-1. I'm surprised too, 6-1. Anyway, see, just that would have been 1 of 10 questions. Here's another one. What's the least accurate goal kicking ground in 2025?
Oh, Win Stadium.
Just we'll save these questions.
It does need game show music.
Yeah, 100%.
It's got to be coastal.
Let's go to round 22. And in fact, Sunday night, well, I was supposed to remind you of Sunday night. This is very bad hosting from yours truly, but Sunday night we're on, I don't know when we're on, 8:55 after the NRLW.
8:20.
8:20. Is there no NRLW this week? Oh, it's Magic Round. It's Women's Magic Round. So we're back at 8:20 and then we'll be back at 8:55. We're going to have a symposium on NRLW, by the way. The scheduling sucks. And I don't know what the answer is. We all know the problem. You can't put it against men's games because you're going to get crushed. And then the other time slots are dead. Thursday, 6 p.m. or...
Yeah, that late Sunday night game.
Tough sell.
Remember we were in here and we walked out, it was still going.
I feel for it.
Like, it's a tough
I feel for it because I don't
need a Monday night game.
I would have a Monday night game. I would make that the marquee Monday night, Leichhardt Oval, Sydney teams or Sydney home team, and you get Fox around it. I think 9 do all the games as well. You get 9 around it. You actually make that a standalone, give it a standalone feel. And you know why Monday Night Football was so popular in America? Because it was the last game of the week to bet on. Parramatta versus Melbourne. No Jerome Hughes. Melbourne without Jerome Hughes. Are you ready for this? 1-4 since 2024. So I have lots of other stats on this game, but I left my notes in my jacket pocket. Munster and Pappenhausen are back. Parramatta thumped by Melbourne in round 1, but that, I think we all agree, will be no correlation to what happens in this game.
Zero correlation. And Parramatta showed that they are forget about their season being over, they're a tough, gritty side. Jason Riles has got them humming. First-year coach, so they're still playing for him. And here's a stat for you, Dan, on the Melbourne Storm. We know night games, not their go this year.
Yep.
They played 5 night games on the road so far this year. They've covered 1 of them. That was last weekend against the Chooks. The line there was -3.5 at the jump. They won by 4. That's a half-point cover. So for all intents and purposes, they're 0 from 5 essentially, because the line of that was +4.5 earlier in the week as well. So 10.5. Mitchell Moses, we saw exactly what he's worth to that team last week. It's at night, Combank Stadium, a little bit of weather around town. The 10.5 to me looks exceptional value.
A lot of negative stats around this panel with the Storm. I'll show you another one, folks. And this has been a problem for about 18 months for Coach Bellamy. This right-hand side, they have not fixed this. Maybe 2 years worth. Where are they conceding their tries? 51%. And to be fair, part of that would be that they've had to juggle around. A lot of players have featured at different times on that right-hand side. So that does hurt your side. But they're coming up against a bloke who's fresh off a hat-trick when he was playing for the Bulldogs against them. Josh Adokar, he's a former player. We love the ex-players taking on the team, and I love noted try scorers in outside of teams. So the Fox will be fired up. Should be one of the big targets, I think, for the Perth Bears, because he's just going to have that charisma and the general city
brings in energy to a club, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and wouldn't cost you the house either. So just keep an eye on him for your same game multis, I would say.
All right. Other facts. Asfa Solomona is out again. Liero is out.
Oh, that's a big out.
It is a big out. He's been very good. It's amazing. I said to someone off-air in Fox commentary, geez, that Trent Liero, I don't know about him. And ever since that moment, starred for Queensland and is now a prominent member of this Melbourne Storm side. He's a serious player.
When you called the Origin, did you just feel like every tackle you were mentioning Liero?
He was there, and his ball playing was remember, he was a second rower, and then only last year he became a 13, and he's become an exceptional ball player.
Melbourne Storm bench, they can't run out with that bench, and I don't.
So they got Peasant and Garlick.
They got a half, a backup hooker, Bronson Garlick, and Joe Chan has been playing.
Yeah.
In the centres as well. I think he can probably play.
Well, Alan McDonald, if he's fit, I would imagine comes in because he's been a regular in their 17.
There is going to be a reshuffle there, so watch this space. Like Kane Bradley's still there, so I'm not fully convinced that they're going to roll out Pap. Like he is so crucial, even more so now they're going to miss Jerome Hughes for a number of weeks. If that calf isn't 110% in a at night cold game, you wouldn't want to be rolling him out. So maybe we see that reshuffle, needing a fullback, or Kane Bradley in there as well.
Oh, sorry.
I understand your scepticism about Melbourne, but I think they might get there and even cover. But I can see this being an ugly 22-6 type game. I've got the Flair, and I'm sticking with what I know. Ellie Cartel, first, second, or third. He has done it in 4 of the last 7 Storm games, and it's $4.50. Not the greatest odds there, but let's just build the kitty. It's Thursday night. Let's build the kitty here for the weekend. Right, Warriors, Dolphins, and I thought I was going to get one over Sportsbet here because I thought, Dolphins, this is the time to be on them. Then I see the odds. They're $1.67 head-to-head as we record this, and 2.5 minus the line.
That has flipped, though, since so Monday. It was the exact opposite. The Wars were favourites on Monday. Then we saw some team changes that we weren't expecting, and a couple of massive ones for the Warriors. Fisher Harris.
Right. So I'm going to make a prediction. It has nothing to do with the game. It'll have something to do with what happens on this panel. All right. So let me read you. The Dolphins, Nikorima is back. So that now the Nikorima Cartel combination returns. Felice Kafusi returns. Mark Nichols returns. It's starting to happen now for the Dolphins. Out still Plath, Daniel Saifidi, Gilbert Flegler. But much better looking team than they've presented. And the team has been winning. Warriors lose Harris Tavita, Fisher Harris, Egan. But my prediction is this. The man to my right, Joel Aloysius Kane, is going to tip the Warriors to win because he's in love with the number 9, Sam Healy. And on that basis alone, let's see if I know Joel as well as I think I do. He knows the Dolphins are better than the Warriors, but he now is tied. He is tied. Intrinsically is not the word. He is tied to the hip to Sam Healy.
You're right. You're guilty, Your Honour. Joel, Stanislaus, Aloysius, what was that name? Aloysius Kane, guilty. Yes, I'm going to tip the Warriors. I'm backing the coach here. Go Media Stadium. Massive outs. There's no doubt about that. Massive ins. But I tell you this, boys, and Sean and I are kind of on the same page. Sean's going to show us a heat map the last 2 weeks, and I'll give some further data on the back of that.
Fire up the heat map. Strike the match, and we'll all get nice and warm looking at this. This is only the last 2 weeks, so it's a small sample, yes.
Oof.
The bottom left of your screen there, that's the Warriors' right edge defensive channel. Now, Kurt Capewell has been defending there the last couple of weeks. There might be a late change because there is a potential centre on the extended bench there. However, if Capewell's there again, I think the Dolphins are really going to target that. And you can see the last 2 weeks, teams have been able to cash in. And if there's one thing the Finns do, it is their left edge is incredible. It's the hottest left edge of the comp.
Yep.
North of 50 tries down that side of the field. They will be going after Kurt Capewell, and we saw it right here.
Yeah, Phil Sammy, they caught him out there a couple of times here, so they knew to go early. They know they rush in. I'm not a fan. I was telling you boys about, I want to see a coach test out this just check and go. Like they just suicidal the way they charge into them.
You want a zone defence.
Which get up there, but they are literally, if you're against those teams, whack it over the top and you're going to go very close to scoring.
Pretty handy ball there from Kieran Foran, wasn't it?
Of course. Almost the biggest hand in glove, that stat you showed. The Dolphins score 60% on the left-hand side.
Incredible.
And the Warriors concede 60% on the right-hand side. It's almost the biggest hand-in-glove play of the year.
That's Herbie territory.
Herbie and Jake Averillo. I nearly had Jake Averillo for best bet.
Oh, because Averillo's on the wing.
Yeah,
you're right.
So we know, like, the NRL over-indexes scoring down the left-hand side of the field, and therefore teams concede on the right. So it does make sense, but it's the comparison to the NRL average is where it...
On both fronts.
It sticks out like you know what. The Dolphins, almost plus 12% ahead of the NRL average down that side of the field. They are elite, which is a great segue to my Flair bet. I'm going first try scorer here. I want to juicing up these prices. Jake Averillo playing on that wing, $10 first try scorer. It's a night game over there, Auckland, so I'm a little bit worried about the number of points, hence the first.
Is there any chance Averillo goes into the centres and Tavita Nafahu goes onto that wing? That's the only fear I have. I love it. Farnworth left centre, Averillo right centre, let them run. But anyway, that's the team as named. We get to a Friday night game, which, these are the games you think are going to be hidings, and they end up being very, very close. So Broncos South, the line 17.5 and $1.14, $5.80. But what if I was to tell you $5.80 isn't even close to the biggest upset performance this year on Friday night footy at 8 p.m. Can we please flash up some of the upsets this year as we continue to go through on screen some of the odds? But on the left there,
Wow.
round 2 Roosters with their plumbers and concreters beat the Panthers 38-22 remains the big one.
It wasn't like a union site, wasn't it?
$11 still. That's a bad. As bad as the Roosters looked on paper, they couldn't be $11.
Yeah.
Rabbitohs beat the Broncos already at $5. Remember, you had them at. They had Latrell Mitchell in their team, $5, and then also $4.90, $4.50, $4.35. Friday night 8 p.m. Upset City. So $5.80. Gold Cane would fit.
Are you calling it a favourites graveyard?
Oh, the graveyard.
Yeah, but the other thing too, boys, who's the most pronounced on the right-hand side?
Yes, Brisbane Broncos. Now, South Sydney. No, we're going to get to South Sydney's woes in a moment. Jack White, and again, losing that shoulder charge case. Let's not go into that because we'd rather just analyse these games. So the list is great. I read out all the games, all the names of players. I ran out of names on my sheet.
Correct.
Because I forgot about Brandon Smith and there are some others that are unavailable. But Jamie Humphries is back for the Broncos. Wow, we are going back to the glory days, Joel. A team gets beaten. Who does the coach sack? He sacks the wingers.
Break
Cobbo and
glass.
Mariner back.
In the event of emergency, break glass, and Cobbo has come back into the side. Speaking about those Rabbitohs that are out, when you see this, it is huge, right? So think about how many of these players that are missing for South Sydney would walk into the starting side of most other sides, right? So if you go through some of these players that are missing here, it is unbelievable.
Let's see. I've asked Sean, and this is one for the audio people. It's a bit hard, but the visual people, the South team not playing. Now, a couple of these are available, but just not picked, like a Tyrone Munro. But it's Latrell Mitchell, Munro, and Ravalawa on the wings. Campbell, Graham, Jack White in the centres. Cody Walker, Jaden Sullivan in the halves. But it's the forward pack. Totola, Mamazelos. Now, Mamazelos, I think, is in the extended squad. He may actually play, but we're just getting a bit cute with the 17 that are going to line up as per. Totola, Mamazelos, Mawale, Kalama, Matangi. We couldn't even have Cam Murray at 13 because we've got to get Brandon Smith in. That's how good the South's unavailable team is against the likes of Dodd, Humphries, Duncan in the centres. The forward pack has just been ripped apart. What's the line? South's available versus South's unavailable.
On the moon, Dan. So no home ground advantage to either team. It's minimum 12.5, isn't it? I think. The players missing versus that team that's running out this weekend, minimum 12.5. It actually could be more. It actually could be more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. You reckon?
Yeah.
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 You might be right.
If it's at Heffron, though, there may be no players left by the end of the
very,
game.
very tricky to work out who's got the upper hand.
Yes.
The
That
market
felt like an Australia versus Australia A game. Now, for people of a certain age, you'll have no idea what that means, but it's from the mid-90s.
So Madge he's done something by doing absolutely nothing here.
Yep.
But what he has done is put the rest of the squad on notice that I've dropped a couple of players, but it's made no difference to the betting here. The market has not missed the fact that Broncos are very, very big favourites here. It's a massive number, Shug, but I think I might be a week late in tipping the Bunnies getting trounced. They somehow kept that game close against the Sharkies last week. More about the Sharks than the Bunnies for me. If they're fair income here, if it's dry, Suncorp Stadium, you want to be playing the alternates, I think.
We kind of alluded to Broncos' struggles when they're heavy favourites. Versus the top 8, they're 5-3. Very good record. I think it's the second best record in the comp. Against the bottom 9, 5-5. These are the games they muck up, but I saw South in person last week. There cannot be anything left in that tank. That is going to take it out of them. I think
That's right.
I can't see them repeating the efforts of well, maybe they can with Wayne Bennett, but it would be heroic if they could do that.
Yeah, I kind of felt those same things where they just gave everything. It was such a great performance. Broncos were so bad. You know, Madge would be saying, look, he's the old South Sydney coach who won a comp. Bennett's the old Broncos mentor who won many comps. And they're coming off a loss to Parramatta. Are you blokes fair dinkum? You're playing virtually a reserve grade South Sydney side. You have to pull the trigger here.
Yes.
You've got reasons to do it. Adam Reynolds needs just 4 points to be only the second player. 2,500 points. Game 200 for Ben Hunt in the Broncos. Boys, are you fair dinkum? Are you legit? Or are you gone? You tell us.
Reece Walsh won't be that bad 2 weeks in a row.
No, and this is what's really scary. If you're the Bunnies going into this, there's so much that the Broncos need to prove that at no point will they take the foot off the gas. Which, when you're stepping into a minus 17.5 point favourite, you need that on your side. And he did. He had a night to forget. And this is the thing about him: you play these exact plays 100 times, they probably come off more often than they don't. But sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way. He tried to do a little bit too much. And having said all that, almost won the game for them at the end.
I'm sure Madge would be saying, boys, can you watch that Penrith game where Penrith, who've won all these comps recently, you guys have probably had equal talent at times. All they did was just steering comp, get up there, kick in the corner, get up there, kick in the corner. If we do this to South, we can very much get Sugar's bet over the line with the Flair, which is exact total point 0.
An old staple.
An old staple.
An old staple.
Hey, we've hit a $31 one this year, so you beauty. All right, Gold Coast versus Penrith, Saturday, 3 p.m. I expect Penrith to turn it on here a bit. They're starting not only to click in defence, 70 points in 7 games, but we saw against the Tigers, their attack is coming together. Gold Coast can't do that twice in a row, what they did. They were excellent against the Warriors, a thoroughly deserved win. They've shown no history that they can do it twice in a row. So I've got Thomas Jenkins to score 3 tries. Hat-trick. Hat-trick. That's my Flair.
Milky.
That's Thomas. Gold Coast have conceded 35 tries on their right side. Thomas is a very good left winger. Let's go to the middle game. Dragons.
Not even Tom. Well, we can't have Milky, so we move to Tom. No, you can't have Tom. It is Thomas.
Well, I'm only going with official name. Dragons versus Canberra. Win Stadium. Win Stadium here. Seb Chris is back for Canberra. So they're pretty much full strength. Matty Nicholson, I guess, would come straight into that side. But aside from that, that's pretty much top notch. Dragons, they've lost Jaden Sewer from their team last week, and they're treading water. Win Stadium record 2-2. They have lost 4 in a row. Worst loss, 7 points, I believe. Have I got that right, or is it 12? So anyway, they're all 4 really close losses. What are you pointing at me for, Sean?
No, I just want to call out I'm on Wind Sock Watch again. The last game down there, I was on Wind Sock Watch, and it was as flaccid as anything. I think it's going to be up and about for this game. Whether it looks awful down there, Sugar, this is not where you want sideline conversions.
Question that was asked, I don't know if it was off air or during the podcast version. You said, what's the worst percentage for kicks?
Yes.
I suggested Windsock Town of Wind Stadium.
Does it include Origin, Dan?
No.
I was going to.
No, we're going to do a quiz on the main show next. Yes, Win Stadium is the lowest. Oh, hang on, I better check that actually, but I think it is.
Of the main ground.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There you go, because the windsock comes into play. This bloke here is absolutely airborne, Jacob Little. So I want to talk about players and their time on the field and how long it takes them to score a try on average. Sloane's a try a game, so he's at 80 minutes, right? 15 tries for the year. Jacob Little is 93 minutes per try. Hudson Young, who is a regular pick, he's a very popular pick when it comes to this stuff. He's at 124 minutes, so he's scoring a try every 1.5 games or thereabouts. Savage, 130 minutes. Jacob Little, every 93 minutes this year, he's pitching a try.
You need to trademark that metric. Minutes per try, you need to trademark.
Do I?
Yeah,
We'll get someone to pounce on it.
It's going to start popping up.
The
in
MPT.
places.
The MPT. Like, we can make that a proper stat, the MPT.
Absolutely.
And to be fair, Joel, you've been on this right from the start of the season. I know this because you asked me to get that stat for you early in the year and I forgot. Yeah. But Little has been excellent, close to their best player. Do Canberra need a loss soon?
Yeah, they probably do.
I think Ricky would disagree.
I understand, but you know what I mean.
Well, the only reason I think, I kind of feel what you're saying, but they haven't put teams to the torch, have they? So Ricky would still be unhappy.
And I know that the scoreline last week at home against the Knights looks really good. there was 2 tries there that I think probably get called back more often than not. So the scoreline, again, it's not, maybe just dig a little bit deeper. And before that, they were winning those games 4 points, 4 points, 4 points. They were just getting it done. And it's tricky. It's a tricky place to go.
Canberra beat the Dragons 28-24 only a few weeks ago. 10 of the 12 Dragons losses by 1-12. That's almost stat of the day. 10 of the 12 losses by 1-12. And Tyrell Sloan, 6 doubles. 6 doubles. He scored 15 tries. 12 of those have come in double performances. Give me a Flair, please.
Have we got just one quick graphic that I can crowbar in here? It's where the Raiders do score their tries in season 2025. They are fairly right heavy. Now, the left still dominates, but against the NRL average, the right is where they like to go. And it leads me straight to a Flair. And another quick plug for the match previews on the Sportsbet app. Click on the game, click on the match preview, because we dive into some numbers around the Dragons' left edge defence, which leads me straight to this off the back of that graphic too. Zach Hosking. Now, I've gone first try scorer again because I'm worried about the total. But at a big old price, we can get around the junior mule.
Yeah, King Tongi is a target out there.
Big target.
Big target.
Okay, I think I've got Canberra into an over into that game, but that's very, very tasty odds. We rate Zach Hosking as sort of a Hudson Young light, but at much, much better odds in terms of try scoring. Big game, Manly Roosters, probably the most important game around number 22. It's not technically do or die, but it really is, let's be honest. Manly 9-9, but if they can't beat the Roosters at home, please. And the Roosters 8-10. They have to win. Brookvale record for Manly 6-3. Here's a great stat. Manly 7 first half clean sheets that they've kept.
Have they?
Isn't that amazing? And 5 of them. So 5 of their 9 games with Brookie kept their opposition in nil at half time.
Well, that'd play into Sean. He's got a stat up his sleeve relating to the total match points unders for Manly at Brookie.
All right, and Tolu Kola, we'll get to that in a second.
Part of that.
Tolu Kola, 7 tries, or tries in 7 straight games at Brookvale. Roosters, they're going to rue losing that one to Melbourne last week, as gutsy as they were. They've only missed 1 finals in 12 years, but they have conceded 30 plus in 3 of the last 4. Now, Sean.
No, so that the graphic or the numbers that we were speaking about before, that alluded to Manly just in general. Forget about Brookvale Oval. They played 17 games prior to last week. It was 14-3 the under, so they're not a real high-scoring team. The Bulldogs put pay to that total last week by putting on a lot of tries late. That's the only concern. I found this game really, really tricky to weigh up, Sugar.
Okay, no, well, so I want to show something, and this can't be coincidence, right? So this Melbourne Storm side have been the favourite for the most part of the year, and that was the Roosters very brave against the Melbourne Storm side. But what about this? Ooh. So these are the results playing the week after the Storm. So if you've played the Storm, 15 of 16. So while there's not 18 because 2 teams had the bye the next week.
Of course.
15 of 16 teams have lost the next week. The only team to win were the Warriors, and it was a scrappy 2-point win. So teams come out of that bumped, bruised, fatigued. What? They've been up for the week. So you saw Manly have the win, get clobbered by the Bulldogs. So is that a forgive run? And it ties into both teams. And then you've got the Roosters this week, fresh off the playing the Melbourne Storm. So if you like that,
niche.
I'm going to go very niche.
Can I say that is a contender for stat of the year?
You like that?
That's a good stat.
Seagulls 30 plus the price.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, I'm calling this game. Look, I haven't done Brookie this year. Can't wait for this, actually. Manly 13 plus. Wow. Wow, that's a big
game 250,
call.
Luke Brooks.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to inspire them to win 13 plus on its own, is it?
No, I don't either.
But okay.
Hasn't he just whacked you out of the park there?
Not as much as you, folks. Reminder, go see the podcast.
Hang on, I just gave you the stat of the year for Melbourne. That's a great stat. That is great evidence that Manly could win 13 plus. You can't then Luke Brooks.
I'll take one all, folks. I'll take one all. Take us to the Dogs.
West Tigers, Canterbury. We've got 5 minutes to get through 2 games. Let's spend most of it on this game, please. Minus 10.5 is the line here for this game. Minus 10.5. Canterbury pumped the Manly side, and I wasn't shocked. And I'm not saying I'm a genius. Daytime. They're a daytime team. 7-0, and they average 30 points a game. We think their attack is not particularly good, or certainly hasn't been. 30 points a game in daytime. 7-0. This is daytime. Rinakama comes in for, I don't know who he comes in for. Oh, Kiraz. Connor Tracy was sensational last week against Manly. I know all the raps are on Burton. Buller, Samuela Fainu, Royce Hunt in for the Tigers. So Tigers looking much stiffer. Before I go to Sean, because I know Sean's got some very strong thoughts on this game, where's your head at for this game? 2 p.m. Combank Fox League exclusive.
Oh, so excited about Kiraz going to fullback. And by the way, thoughts for Connor Tracy, that
Sounds
injury.
awful. Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see Kiraz at fullback.
Hang on, can I just replicate what you just did? You don't realise what you did. Can I have the camera, please? I am so excited for Jacob Kiraz at fullback. Oh, sorry, Connor Tracy, thoughts and prayers. Anyway, go on.
Actually, okay, so I am excited to see Kiraz, but I think somebody has to get into the ear of Lockie Galvin. I'm not to say he would do this, but he's a young firebrand, right? And he's going to be the story. And if you're right and they notch up a score, Dan, he's every chance of scoring. He can't do the shush. He can't point to the badge. He's just got to score humbly and then walk away. Oh, do you know what I'm saying? Like it could,
I know what you're saying, and I don't think we're going to see it.
I don't think he's got
you think he'll play up to it?
Absolutely. I hope he does, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that theatre.
I think his teammates will be even more strident in that regard.
Say humble?
No, the other way.
Oh, they'll be like loving him.
They'll be more effusive than he
Oh,
will be.
wow.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. Okay, that's...
You're confident they'll do the business?
Well, more confident now that you shared that daytime stuff. Absolutely, yeah.
For me, Kiraz to fullback is a big out. Well, Connor Tracy's a big out because of that shift. Now, Tracy was enormous last week, so naturally that's a negative. But what Kiraz was doing, those offloads coming out of yardage, he buys an extra 8-10 metres. With every carry of his, he makes yardage. Then he's dishing out the back. I think he did it 7 or 8 times. So they do lose a lot. And I'm worried now about their edges. So they've now got Anari Tuala one side, Jethro Rinakama, the rookie, on the other one. Just like defensive decisions in big moments concern me out wide for the doggies.
Oh, I see what you did there. So people have been calling him Anari Tuala. So he was going to do anything there just to sort of sandwich in Anari Tuala. Oh, by the way, the offload, Shawnee, which is a great point. On average, an offload's worth 9 metres.
Is that right?
Yep.
Quickly, just on the West Tigers attack. Now, I'm sticking up for them in this game, but this is what worries me. Their attack against top 5 teams, this is the last 5 games against the top 5. It is a big concern. A duck egg in there and some very, very low numbers, averaging 8.4 points per game. I'm worried about that, but I think they can keep it. They have to win in a bit of a gritty game here. I don't think they can win trying to blow the doggies off the park, whether around Sydney. West Tigers head-to-head.
Oh,
I'm tipping an upset.
No way.
And the under total
No
match
way.
points is my double.
No way. Canterbury don't lose these games. 12-0 against bottom 8, 20-0 against bottom 8 or bottom 9 this year and last year. They don't lose these games. But anyway, hey, I respect the...
Either way, we can clip that up.
chutzpah.
I'll be right or you'll be right.
Yeah, we got 1 minute here, which I think is all we need for this one. Cronulla versus North Queensland Cowboys. I think Cronulla smash them. Absolutely smash them. There's no way Cronulla are going to be that poor again. Cowboys, no. They don't have the defence. 7.5 is an insulting line to the Cronulla Sharks. Sean, your thoughts, please.
I completely concur. I'm a little bit scorned after backing them last week, though. But I agree. If you didn't... Now, I'm not going to steal your best bet. If you didn't take it, I was probably going to do the same, Dan.
Old Boys Day 2, Cronulla, so beware, folks. Matty Rogers will be down there running amok somewhere, the 4th Beetle here on Get 'Em Onside. Big problem for the Cowboys, their right channel, worst in the whole competition comfortably. Shocking part of the field for them. Teague Wilton, first, second or third try is my Flair, boys.
Love that.
Wow,
Armand
yes.
Latte.
Yes, he's been looking good too. Cronulla, I had a great stat on them. Well, I thought it was 9-2 against bottom 9, 2-6 against top 8. I'm not
FTB. FTB.
I set him up to say that. They beat the Cowboys, North Queensland, 36-12 in round 2, and half the side had the flu coming back or had COVID coming back from Las Vegas. So if they beat them by 24, we're all thinking they might smash them here. Best bets after this. By the way, a recommendation on the other side of this, Get 'Em Onside. Foxtel people, download HBO Max or however you get it. It's free, so you can get the Billy Joel documentary. It is sensational. He is a legend. You just wouldn't want to leave him near your wife. Let's do this.
The piano man. Who was the real estate novelist? That's the question. Now, for me, Raiders at the minus, Shawnee. That's where I'm going now. Do we have a shock in the lock, shock and 2 smoking tries?
You do not want to leave West rather plus 10.5 with your wife because I'm worried about the doggies here. I give them the big chance. Lockie Galvin, they'll be fired up because of that. Baller back, they're full strength. Low scoring game. West Tigers, big chance for an upset.
Once you watch the doco, you know exactly what I mean. And I didn't understand what Davey from the Navy meant until now it's so obvious. Sharks minus 7.5. There's no way that line is going off at 7.5. So get in there. We're going to go very close to cracking that this week. We're due because we're 0-3 last week. We'll see you Sunday night. And don't forget the full extended version on KO, on YouTube, on audio. Get them onside. Do everything you do responsibly. See you next time.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.